Lord, I close my eyes and come to you before words are ready. My chest is tight, my throat warm with unshed tears, and yet I turn toward your light, like the smallest flower after rain. You promised healing for tender hearts, and I bring mine now. Still bruised, still breathing, still yours. I am not pretending strength tonight. I am opening the ache where it truly lives, asking you to place your hand on it and quiet the storm within. You know the headlines of my day, the bill I could not stretch to cover, the message I'm afraid to answer, the body tired in the places no scan can see. Fear circles, faith flickers, and still I whisper, your name. I don't need perfect language. I need a present shepherd. If I reach for you with trembling fingers, meet me with steady mercy. If I break mid-sentence, finish the prayer inside me with your Spirit's breath. Teach me to trust that the ground beneath my sorrow is not failure, but fertile soil. If tears fall, let them water the roots of tomorrow's courage. If silence stretches, let it become a soft room where you mend what I cannot. I believe your kindness holds my story, even at its rawest edges. I believe your touch can turn the pulse of panic into a slower, braver rhythm. So here is my ache, unhidden. Lay it beside your heart and speak peace over it. Align my breath to the pace of your healing. I accept the promise of this very video, the restoration only your nearness can give, and I step into it by faith, not feeling. And while I wait for what my eyes cannot see yet, I will dare to say it aloud with others who are watching. I still believe. Type, I believe something impossible can happen this week. Open palms, soft eyes, preparing for gentle restoration. Lord, I slow my breath and open my hands. I let my shoulders drop, my jaw unclench, my thoughts settle like snow in a quiet field. I am not rushing this moment. I am here to be kept by you, not to impress you. With soft eyes and an unguarded heart, I make room for comfort that does not prove itself with noise. I tell my body the truth my soul believes. Safety is found in your nearness. I breathe in, steady and deep. I breathe out the ache that tries to script my day. With each inhale, I welcome your kindness. With each exhale, I release control. I say it softly but surely. We're preparing for something supernatural. Not a show, but a shift. Not fireworks, but a faithful warmth that reaches the cold corners of my chest and stays. You know where I have built walls from worry, where I've braced for impact instead of leaning into your embrace. Meet me at those edges. Turn the barricades into thresholds. Let what felt like walls become doors. Where I have tightened my grip on plans and outcomes, loosen my hands until they are empty enough to receive. Where I have rehearsed worst-case endings, teach me to imagine your rescue arriving quietly, like dawn through curtains. I choose readiness. I choose to be comforted, to let tears rinse shame rather than confirm it. I choose to hear the soft instructions of peace. Lower your shoulders, slow your pace, trust the timing. Guard my inner room from frantic headlines and glowing screens. Set a watch at the door of my attention. Here I am, Lord, open-palmed, soft-eyed, not demanding a sign, only welcoming your presence. Prepare me to recognize your touch when it comes, and to rest under it without flinching. Gather my tears. Lord, hold what hurts. Lord, I come to you tired, but still trusting. Gather my tears before they harden into armor. Hold what hurts so I don't have to hold it alone. You see the fatigue that clings to my bones like wet cloth, the bills stacked like little storms on the table, the lab results I reread at night, the voicemail I'm afraid to answer, the bank app I avoid opening. You know the cough that won't leave, the sleep that won't stay, the conversation that turned sharp and left splinters under the skin. You know the way anxiety keeps editing my future with dark ink. I am not hiding anything from you. Receive it, Lord. The pressure in my chest, the shallow breath, the clenched jaw, the worry that paces halls at 3 a.m. Receive the ache in that relationship I love and don't know how to fix, the quiet resentment and the louder regret. Receive my fear of being too late, too little, too broken to begin again. I open my hands and let the pieces fall into yours. You are gentle with what is fragile. You are strong where I am soft. Speak over me now. Steady voice, steady in heart. Tell the waves inside me, be still. Tell the lies, be silent. Tell my racing thoughts, stand down. I believe the heaven that spans galaxies can bend low to this small room. I believe the same God who parted the sea is listening now. So part these waters. Make a path through sleeplessness, through debt, through diagnosis, through distance. Lift me from dread to dignity, from shaken to shelter. Put courage back in my bloodstream. Count my tears and trade them for songs. Guard me as daylight fades and as it returns. Hold what hurts until it heals, and while it heals, hold me. Bottled tears, returned breath. Memory alive from Psalms 56 and 116. Lord, let memory become medicine in your hands. You have kept count of my restless nights and my round and round thoughts. None of it vanished into the dark. You keep my tears as if each one were a line in your careful ledger, a small river you refuse to waste. When I remember this, something loosens. The stack of unpaid worries feels lighter. The diagnosis loses its sharp edge. The voicemail waiting to be heard is no longer a cliff. If you gather every drop, then nothing I've cried is meaningless, and nothing I'm facing is nameless to you. I remember other midnights when despair pressed hard, and you pressed closer. You delivered my life from the brink, my eyes from constant weeping, my feet from slipping where grief wanted me to fall. I think of hospital corridors where hope felt thin, and how you sent a steady voice of unexpected provision that met the bill down to the cent, of a fight that softened into forgiveness after a quiet, unplanned prayer. Those weren't coincidences. They were fingerprints. Yours on doors I thought were sealed. So I bring today into that same storyline. Because you count my steps, I can step again. Because you store my tears, I can breathe again. Let the pain that once drowned me become the ink of testimony. I offer thanks now, not as denial but as declaration, for the calm that returns like tide, for friends who check in at just the right hour, for honest sleep, for the courage to call back, for breath-filling lungs that once forgot how. I lift, in faith, the cup of salvation. I choose to walk, upright, unhurried, in the land of the living. What you have carried, carry still. What you have healed, keep whole. And where I am not yet whole, teach me to trust the one who already holds the bottle and the breath. When hand meets heart, from ache to answer. Lord, here I am again, between ache and assurance, between silence and the sound I still believe will come. I've talked myself into circles, searched for signs that never showed, knocked on doors that refused to open. But tonight, I am not asking for new proof. I am asking for new sight. Let my eyes recognize your hand, even in the still places where nothing seems to move. You are the same God who held Israel between sea and sword, the same God who heard a whisper from a pit and made it an anthem. You do not delay to torment us. You delay to prepare us. What felt like rejection was redirection. What looked like silence was strategy. Even in the quiet, you were rearranging walls into doors, detours into destinations. The waiting was never wasted. It was the soil where trust learned how to breathe. So I choose revelation over desperation. I speak faith into what is not yet answered back. I bless the space between promise and proof, because it's where you've met me before. I thank you for the closed doors that protected me from half-built blessings. I thank you for the silence that became sanctuary. I thank you for the pause that taught me how to listen without panic. Lord, let this ache not vanish, but transform. Let it become the pulse that reminds me you are near. My tears have turned to oil for the lamp. My sighs have become incense before you. You are not absent. You are arranging. The miracle may still be underground, but the answer is already in motion. I rest my hand on my chest and feel it steady beneath yours. Between heartbeat and breath, you write my next chapter. Not rushed, not late, but right on divine time. Practice of mending, daily habits that keep the heart soft. Lord, teach me to live gently in a world that bruises easily. To mend doesn't mean to rush toward perfection. It means to stay tender, where life tries to harden me. I want to wake each morning not with hurry, but with gratitude already whispering under my breath. Before I reach for my phone, let me reach for you. Let Scripture be the first light that meets my eyes, the verse that steadies me before the world begins to spin. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. That's not weakness. That's strength learning how to breathe. Give me the grace to keep a record of mercy instead of mistakes. Help me write down the small miracles, the text that arrived right on time, the sunrise that felt like reassurance, the meal that turned into laughter. Gratitude, written in ink, trains my eyes to see how you move, quietly, constantly. And when silence stretches long, help me remember, it's not emptiness, it's space where roots grow. Set boundaries around my soul the way a gardener protects new plants. May I step away from endless scrolling and lean into the rhythm of peace walking, bare feet on cool ground, prayers rising with each breath. Make my pace slower, but steadier. Let patience become my daily rebellion against a culture that measures worth by speed. If a single phrase must anchor this week, let it be, soft hearts hear God clearly. Soften me, Lord. Make my hands gentle with others, my tone kind with myself, and my hope unbreakable even when the day feels fragile. In quiet persistence, keep me mending, and in mending, make me whole. Signals of comfort, confirmation, guidance, and steady peace. Lord, I pause now, not to ask for more, but to notice what's already here. The air feels calmer, almost weightless. Maybe that's the first sign. Your peace is not a thunderclap. It's the gentle assurance beneath the noise. I don't need to force it. I just need to listen. You've never stopped guiding me, even when I mistook your stillness for absence. Today, I ask not for louder answers, but for clearer eyes, to recognize your cues before I stumble past them. If a door stays closed, help me stop pounding long enough to realize you might be protecting me. If a delay lingers, teach me to call it preparation, not punishment. You are the shepherd who knows the terrain better than I do. You lead me beside still waters, not rushing floods. You restore my soul quietly, even while my thoughts run wild. So, slow me down until I can match your rhythm. Let your hand rest steady over mine until my heartbeat aligns with yours. Grant me discernment, Lord, holy awareness in ordinary things. Let peace feel like a map, not a mystery. If I'm walking the right path, confirm it through rest that feels earned, not escapist. If I'm veering off, whisper correction before confusion grows. I trust you with the next step, even if I can't see the whole trail ahead. Guard the thresholds I'm about to cross, the meetings, the decisions, the quiet moments between actions. Wrap them in your calm authority. Renew my courage, not reckless, but anchored. Let me end this day with one truth echoing deep. You are here, and that is enough. The touch and the tear from wound to witness. Lord, here we are again, where pain and presence meet, where the tear still trembles, but your touch steadies it. I've learned that healing doesn't always come as thunder. It often comes as the quiet proof that I'm not alone in the ache. You never promised me a life without sorrow. You promised that my sorrow would not be wasted. Every tear, I thought, fell into emptiness. You caught. Every prayer I whispered through clenched teeth. You heard. And now I see, it was never silence, it was strategy. You were turning wounds into windows, places where your light could finally reach. You said, you keep my tears in a bottle, and I believe you do. Maybe that bottle is not a jar of grief, but a vessel of memory, a reminder that nothing I've felt has been forgotten. I was never unseen. I was being written into something redemptive. You've carried me from the valley of pain to the threshold of purpose, from the trembling cry to the steady song. So here I stand, Lord, no longer asking why, but whispering, thank you. Because the same hands that let me break are the ones that rebuilt me with tenderness. My scars are not shame, they are evidence. My tears are not weakness, they are the ink of testimony. If someone listening tonight feels unseen, let them know this. They are already being gathered, healed, and rewritten into hope. You turned my mourning into melody, my fear into faith, my tears into testimony. The wound became a witness, and I'm still being restored. Amen. Type, I believe restoration is happening now, and share this prayer with someone who needs to feel his touch again.